Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual JForex, we'll be starting afresh with the new set of indicator. The name is CoG, Center of Gravity. This indicator gives you the idea of the direction of the trend as well as its momentum. It is derived from the moving averages, and it tries to find the center of the gravity as the name suggests using the moving averages. So we will see how we can design and develop the algorithm using this indicator. You will find these amongst the other indicator just below the Butterworth. In the last session we had seen the utility of Butterworth, and now today is the turn of CoG. We have to define these six parameters depending on which we will get two output values, the signal line and the center of gravity line. And I will briefly explain to you what the logic is going to be. There is the USD JPY daily time frame chart on which I have plotted the CoG with the default configuration of 10, 3 and SMA. 10 is for calculating the center of gravity line, and 3 is for calculating the SMA line. We will see, as the you can observe from the chart, whenever we have this crossover in the bullish side, that is this SMA, the signal line is above the center of gravity line, it is indicative of the bullishness. And also we can consider the comparison between the signal lines values over different time frames, also at different times of point, different point in time, and using that we can see whether the momentum is bullish or bearish. Though, so the structure is going to be simple. Whenever we have this signal line above the center of gravity line, we will be looking to initiate the buy trade. And when we have the signal line trading below the center of gravity line, we will be looking to initiate the sell trade. So the trend is going to be determined using this daily time period setup, and for making the entries on opportune moments, we are going to rely on these 4 hourly setup. And here we will need the fresh crossover to have happened recently, and by recently I mean the last 4 hourly candle should be the first in which the crossover has taken place. And to avoid the consolidation phase, to avoid the situation where we have this kind of moves where in one 4 hourly candle the cross is on one side and in the next 4 hourly candle the cross is on another side. So to avoid this kind of scenario, we will also be comparing the formation a day back. So we will take the last 4 hourly candles output values for the signal line and the center of gravity line and compare it with the formation a day back. So for that we will have to use the look back period of 6 on the 4 hourly time frame. So we will be going back 24 hours in time to look at the formation. And as I said, we will be looking to initiate the buy trade when we have the momentum on the bullish side in the daily time frame. So let us assume, I think somewhere around here this week, starting from 13th 14th of July and lasting till 26th of July, we had the bullish momentum. So whenever we had the formation of a new crossover where the signal line crossed above the center of gravity line from below, that would have been the time to get involved for the new trade. So we have these formations couple of times, and that would have been the time our algorithm would have placed the trade for the buy. And as you can observe from the chart, most of the time the price action has moved as per this direction, as per this center of gravity setup, and we would have made a good amount of profit. And the inverse will be true for the sale trade. We will need the momentum to be on the bearish side on the daily time frame for sale trade to be executed. We will need the signal line to be below the center of gravity line, and if we see the daily time frame conditions in place, we will be looking to initiate the trade whenever we have the fresh crossover. That is when we see the signal line crossing below the center of gravity line, we will be looking to initiate the trade. And here also the condition is going to be similar, that 24 hours back the signal line should have been above the center of gravity line, and now we have the fresh crossover in place. So this will be the time to go for the new trade. And we will also consider the price action. We will take into consideration the closing levels of the last 4 hourly candle. We will need its closing value to be lower than its opening value. And additionally, we will be trying to place the order as close as possible to the recent high. So we will consider the cluster of four hourly candles, that is the data of last 16 hours, and we will be placing the order closer to the recent high, the swing high. And I think, given the fact that in a day the USD JPY used to move around 50 pips, 50 60 pips. Of course, the volatility keeps varying all the time. So to count on that, we will take something like 15 pips, and we will deduct 15 pips from the highest value of last 16 hours, and that will be the point of entry. You can vary this value, it's nothing like casting stone. So if you want to keep it 20 pips, you can do that. If you want to keep it at 10 pips, or even if you simply want the trade to be executed on the highest point itself, you can define that way also. So this is as per the personal preference. And now all we have to do is go back to the Visual JForex board and start the work on the algorithm. First thing we will have to do is get the instrument subscription done. Default instrument will need to be matched with the candle instrument. And candle instrument will need to match with the instrument of choice, which is going to be USD JPY. So here it is, and I will have to change the default instrument from Euro USD to USD JPY. Okay. And after this, we also have to define the requirement that all position amount should be equal to 0. This is just to make sure that we don't get involved in multiple trades at the same time. So new trade will be placed only if there is no existing order or the open position on the account. And coming to this center of gravity block, I will change this to daily. moving average type, we will keep it SMA. Okay, no changes on the setting side. This I will configure it for 4 hourly time frame. So the candle period will be changed to 4 hours. Shift value is going to be 1. Time period is going to remain 10, and smooth period 3 is SMA. Okay, so one more of the CoG. The configuration is going to be same as per this block, only thing different that will be shift value, the look back period, which is going to be 6. Type SMA. Okay, and to look at the price volatility, we are also taking the help of get historical candles, the info blocks. One will be for retrieving the data over last 16 hours, so we have to use get historical candles, multiple candle, and candle amount I will change this to 4. Candle period is going to be changed to 4 hours, and this will be starting from last 4 hourly closing candle, so I will take shift value of 1. Okay, and individual single historical block will also be needed, but to retrieve the individual variable from this array of data, we are also going to need the loop viewer. So this is required. And I will name it FHL loop. It is going to be 1. And to pinpoint the exact entry point, we are going to need 2 more of these get historical candle blocks. So again, info. And this will be 10 seconds. Value of 1 and 2. and this I will change to 10 seconds. Okay, so with this we have got the blocks in place which we are going to use to define the structure. In next session we will have to carry out a couple of calculations to pinpoint the exact entry points, and as I have explained to you, we will also have to define the conditions for the execution of the trade. So for that we will have to compare these output values, and using a logical formation we will get our job done. So we stop here for the day, and before I sign off I would also like to remind that if you want to access the data on further market coverage, you can check out our Dukascopy Analytics page. Whenever you want to start trading, the JForex platform is at your service. We are also available on the Facebook. You can join our Facebook page. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.